Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Why communication between select and non-select men is difficult. Now, you know what, a month or so ago, I don't even remember now, these things blur together, I said this channel will concentrate more on the issues that select men face. Select men. Because usually the pushback I get on everything I say actually comes from non-select men. Like back in 2000 when I published my book, Nice Guys and Players, and yeah, the book has been out nearly 20 years. In fact, as an aside, since it's actually kind of a second edition, because the first book was called Nice Guys and Players Becoming a Man Black Women Won, and all I did was just take black out of the subtitle. It's been around for over 20 years, right? But anyway, right? When it first came out, I thought I would get pushback from players. I honestly did. I thought I would get pushback from players. I thought I would get pushback from women. I thought nice guys, at least guys who consider themselves nice would support me. It was the other way around. It was women buying the book. Women first. They were the main ones buying it at first. It might have changed now, but they were the main ones at first. And hell, they were trying to add to it. And it was players. In fact, one notable player that bought my book back then, he's talked about it, Alan Roger Curry. He's one of the first people to get the hard copy of it, right? He's acknowledged that, and come on, Alan Roger Curry. Those were the type of guys buying my stuff, right? And and it used to bother me for a while because even if a nice guy bought it, they were always the most critical. Always. They never fail. Like some dudes would come find me and stuff and be like, well, I don't agree with this. I had some guys, we be in a seminar, they got the book and they stand up in front of people. I don't agree with anything in it, right? Meanwhile, the players they hear just a little bit. They like nodding. They like, yeah, that's it. The players co-signing everything I'm saying. And I was like, you know what? And at first I couldn't figure it out, but a mentor kind of pointed it out, right? He kind of gave me perspective on it. And then I was like, you're right. Because remember, I always talk about when I first started writing the book, I wrote it because several people asked for it. But at first, I didn't think guys needed it. But that's because my peer group was primarily select men. Guys getting played. So the concept that some men wasn't getting played like that was crazy. It was actually crazy to me because honestly, in my group, like I ran across dudes who didn't get played, but I always considered them the anomalies. And I always kept them at a distance anyway because we didn't have anything in common. But, I watched them enough or paid attention to them enough to get a perspective, right? And I got enough of a perspective for a book. I knew they existed, but I always thought they were the exceptions and not the rule, at first. But then as I started doing research for it, I was like, oh, wait a minute, because I started talking to people. Understand, I did a lot of research before I put the book out. Because like I said, at first, I didn't think dudes needed it. I had to get out and talk to people. Give them surveys, stuff like that. And then I was like, oh, shit, there's something here. All right? But the communication is difficult. Even on YouTube, there's always some back and forth. But here's the reason for the problem. And I've talked about this before, but I'm really thinking about it again. You got really two different perspectives, right? Two different perspectives. Like if somebody select, like on a recent video, I mentioned something about women approaching a man, right? Now, a select dude's done had this. If you truly select, you've had this. You had some woman approach you. You've had some woman show up to your place with nothing on but a trench coat and some heels. You've had women leave notes on your car. You've had women maybe fight over you, even though you don't know either one. Right? And this ain't just Rom's experience. I talk to these guys. The stories you get from the select blow some people's minds. Threesomes, spontaneous threesomes, women just grabbing them and just kissing them or grabbing them or something like that, walking down the street and being harassed by women. Select dudes understand this, but see, a non-select dude hears this and automatically thinks whatever the select dude is saying is bullshit. That's why a non-select dude is quick to say, hey, show me receipts. Show me a picture. I don't believe you. He must be lying or something. And the only reason that is because the non-select dude hasn't experienced it. There's a tendency for a person not to believe something unless they either seen it or experienced it. And a non-select dude by nature ain't seen experience a woman fighting over him or handing them the play, especially an attractive woman. Especially an attractive woman. They don't have a concept of it. Shoot, some of them don't even have a concept of even being friends with an attractive woman. Right? You know, as I did in a previous podcast, many of these guys don't know a dime personally. Never met one. The only thing they know about dimes what they see on Instagram or something, or seeing what they think of some celebrity is doing. Right? So, you know, they coming from that perspective. So they meet them, and then it's not even so much as jealousy. Because to really be jealous of somebody, you got to know what's up with them. But it's just thinking, you haven't had this experience. You don't know it. So the communication is difficult. Because, like I said, one thing about it, when people get on one side of the aisle or the other, they're going to tend to hang around similar people. Right? They're going to tend to hang around similar people. Like I said, when I was coming up, I was around players. I've met some people who weren't on that level, but I didn't want to be around them. You know, I didn't really want to be around men who were having problems with women because I was like trying to get sex and shit. So I'm like, wait a minute, I need to be around some guys who are. One, because women tended to be around them. I was like, well, the women are there. These guys are sitting in the corner. And the women are at this place. I'm going to go to this place. Right? So, you know, they ain't going to be around them. You know, and, you know, the non-select, typically they ain't going to be around the select guys. In fact, I've told several clients or whoever wanted to listen. I say one of the best ways, if you non-select or you want to get more women, hang around some womanizers. Just hang around them. Trust me, stuff will rub off on you. Because your mindset will change. Because one thing I notice about the two, whenever each one is in a group, the conversations are just totally different. The conversations are totally different. Like, the non-select will typically complain about rejection, how women act funky, how women flaked and everything, right? The select dudes, the conversation ain't about how women flake. That's rare. To the point they ain't thinking about it. Usually the conversation is, well, damn, man, I'm kind of tired of this woman. But this other one throwing it at me. How do I do this? You know? Or my favorite with a lot of non-select, they be like, Rom, I'm dealing with 7 women now, man. I need to cut that shit down. Seriously, I've actually had some coaching clients who do that. Like, most of my coaching clients already get women easily. They don't need any help in that. They usually just want to know how to manage them. Or cut them back or something, or, you know, have some crazy stuff like, hey, Rom, dude, my car tires got slashed, you know, or this woman stalking me and everything, or the mother of my girlfriend trying to give me some. I've heard that about 5 times. Y'all just don't know. Because, see, or just to explain that once you get one woman and a woman see that or feel that, you know, the rest will come after you. Some women won't come after you unless they think you got somebody. I've had women actually say that. They won't mess with a dude unless they think he got a woman. So it's like, but it's hard to explain that to a dude who don't have any women. Don't experience that or something. So it makes it difficult. And you know what? I can't really be mad at them. It's hard to keep an open mind for something you haven't seen. You know? Because even with the stuff, like everything I say, every single thing I said, I would say I experienced 95% of it. Good and bad. Good and bad. Because even a select dude is going to have some rejections. Even a select dude is going to have a woman who cheat on him. It is what it is. Select just mean you get through the door, really. You still got to do some work. It don't automatically mean a woman going to stay around. Automatically. Even if you dicking her down good, it might be some stuff with it where the woman just say, you know what? I can't take it anymore. And women will do that. It's a different thing. Ain't no perfect. It's just different, right? But, you know, for those reasons, you got 2 different perspectives. Conversation is difficult, right? And All I would say to either side is just be open to what the other person. You may not have gone through it, or most select dudes gone through it, but if you go about, say you were non-select at one time, but you go about 10 years being select, you kind of forget that non-select shit ever happened. Even the most traumatic. All of a sudden, because you got to figure out how to work the 3 women that you got for that day. So you're not thinking about, some woman who didn't say hi to you, like, back when you were a teenager. You ain't going to think about it as much. So anyway, right, that's all I got for today. Something to think about. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.